Have you ever wondered why some people seem to be respected no matter where they go? Well, what if I told you there's a special way of thinking that can help you earn respect not just from others but also from yourself? It's called Stoicism, and it's been around for a long time. Today, we're going to explore Stoicism together. Imagine a life where all the crazy things happening around you don't bother your inner peace. That's what Stoicism promises. So, are you ready to learn the first lesson that can help you earn respect from everyone around you? Let's get started on this exciting journey. Lesson 1. Understanding what's in your control. Let's start our journey with an important lesson inspired by the wise words of the Stoic sage, Epictetus. He taught us that while we can't control everything that happens around us, we can always control how we react to it. This is the core of Stoicism, knowing what we can and cannot change. Imagine feeling free from worrying about things you can't control, like the weather or other people's actions. It's like taking off a heavy backpack and feeling light and free to move. This lesson is like a map showing us how to take charge of our lives in a world where things can sometimes feel out of control. Lesson 2. Seeing things differently. Imagine life as a big, colorful picture made up of all sorts of things that happen to us, good and bad. Sometimes bad stuff happens, like problems or tough times. But instead of seeing these bad things as roadblocks that stop us, think of them as doors that can lead us to become better people. It's like this. Imagine you're a sculptor and your life is a big block of marble. When tough times come, it's like using a chisel to shape that marble into something amazing. Every problem becomes a chance for us to learn and grow. So it's not about avoiding hard times altogether, because they're a natural part of life. It's more about facing them with strength and staying focused on our goals, knowing that we'll come out stronger on the other side. Lesson 3. Facing tough times. Imagine there's this guy named Seneca who was really smart. He said something super wise. You suffer more if you worry before you really have to. Basically, he meant it's better to deal with problems when they actually happen, instead of worrying about them before. So, here's the thing. Life can be tough sometimes. Stoicism, which is like a way of thinking, tells us not to run away from hard stuff. Instead, we should look at tough times right in the eye and deal with them bravely. Because inside every tough situation, there's a chance for us to become stronger and better people. Lesson 4. Being strong. When things get tough, picture life's tough times like the twists and turns of a river shaping the land it flows through. Stoicism, which is all about how to think about things, tells us to not run away from these tough times. Instead, we should see them as chances to grow and become better. Think of being strong during hard times as a journey. Each problem we face is like a stepping stone that helps us become tougher and stronger. So it's not about avoiding problems, but facing them head on and coming out even stronger on the other side. Lesson 5. Taking control of your thoughts. Seneca, a wise person from history, said something really cool. We should be in charge of our thoughts, even when things around us are tough. Stoicism, which is like a guide on how to think, tells us to not let our feelings control us. Instead, we should understand why we feel a certain way and keep going forward anyway. It's like changing how we look at problems. Instead of seeing them as big walls blocking our way, we can see them as chances to become better. This way, we become like builders of our own growth, making our lives better even when things seem hard. Lesson 6. Finding peace. Inside, imagine a peaceful lake, all still and quiet, kind of like the calmness we can have inside us. Stoicism, which is like a guide for how to live well, tells us to find this calmness by accepting things we can't change gracefully. So, instead of getting upset about things we can't control, Stoicism says we should accept them with grace. This way, We let go of feeling angry or annoyed. It's not about giving up, but about choosing to stay strong and calm, even when life gets bumpy. Lesson 7. Being true to yourself. There was this guy named Musonius Rufus who believed something really important. Being honest is like the bottom layer of a building. It holds everything up. Stoicism, which is like a guide on how to live well, tells us to be honest not only with others, but most importantly, with ourselves. So, being honest with ourselves is like looking in a mirror and seeing the best version of who we are. When we're true to ourselves, others see that too, and they respect us for it. Lesson 8. Being kind and understanding. Seneca, who was really smart, once said something really nice. Wherever there's a person, there's a chance to be kind. Stoicism, which is like a guide for living well, tells us to reach out and help others. This makes us all feel more connected and like we understand each other better. It's like making a big blanket together, where each person is a thread. We don't have to ask for respect. We earn it by being genuinely caring toward others. Lesson 9. Living in the now. There was this wise person named Zeno of Citium who said something really cool. Being happy means things are going smoothly. Lesson 9 tells us to really enjoy what's happening right now. It's like looking around and noticing all the good stuff without worrying about what happened before or what might happen later. Lesson 10. Making your mark. There was this Stoic philosopher named Cato who said something really powerful. Being brave means you're truly free. Lesson 10 is all about doing things that matter in the long run, not just what feels good right now. Stoicism tells us to think about the future when we decide what to do, so we can leave behind a legacy that people will respect for a long time. Lesson 11. Bouncing back from setbacks, think of failing as a detour on the road to winning, not the end of the journey. Stoicism tells us to be tough when things go wrong, seeing each setback as a chance to get better. It's like a phoenix, a mythical bird that rises from its own ashes. Every time we fail, we come back even stronger and more ready to succeed. Lesson 12. Being thankful. Every day. Seneca, a wise person from history, once said something really smart. Being truly happy means enjoying what you have right now, without worrying about what might happen later. Lesson 12 is all about saying thank you every day for the little things that make life great. Instead of always thinking about what we don't have, Stoicism tells us to focus on what we do have. When we do that, we find happiness and peace inside ourselves. Lesson 13. Learning to wait nicely. Patience isn't just about sitting around quietly. It's about staying positive while we wait for things to happen. Stoicism tells us that being patient is really important. It means we can handle waiting and dealing with problems without getting upset. When we're patient, we learn to trust that things will happen when they're supposed to. And even when things don't go our way right away, we stay strong and calm. Lesson 14. Going along with nature. The Stoics thought it was really important to live in a way that fits with nature. Lesson 14 tells us to do the same. It means accepting the things we can't change and changing the things we can, just like how nature works. When we go along with nature, we find peace and calmness, even when things around us seem crazy. It's like finding a quiet spot in the middle of a noisy crowd. Lesson 15. Building goodness. Inside, Stoicism says the real happiness and feeling good comes from inside us. Lesson 15 is all about that. It's like growing a garden inside ourselves, where the good stuff like being smart, brave, calm, and fair can grow. When we work on these good qualities, we become better people. and when others see us being good, they look up to us and think highly of us. Conclusion. So, to wrap it all up, Stoicism gives us a really good map for earning respect from everyone. These lessons aren't just big ideas. They're like tools we can actually use to make our lives better. Imagine throwing a pebble into a pond and seeing the ripples spread out. That's what happens when we start using Stoicism in our lives. We become like teachers, inspiring others and making connections with people. And as we keep doing this, we leave behind a really good reputation, like a legacy of respect. Always remember, you have the power to make people respect you. Just work on controlling yourself, being strong, and following the ideas of Stoicism. It's like having a guidebook to living a really meaningful life where everyone looks up to you.